See if the mother of Norse gods can help you win in Marvel Snap, or is that simply an illusion? Find out what's going on as I hereby invite everyone to join me on my adventures through Marvel Snap. Hey everybody, it's Annabelle. So today we get a brand new season and we get to go back to the realm of Asgard. And with that we have our first new card, which is going to be a Frigga. Frigga is an Asgardian, and during her youth she was raised by witches who taught her magic. When she was older, she met Odin, and the two fell in love and married. She is both the Queen of Asgard and of the Asgardian gods, the mother of Thor and the adoptive mother of Loki. As the goddess associated with motherhood, love, fertility, and wisdom, she embodies various aspects of life and nature. She is wise, foresighted, and possesses a deep knowledge of the fates. Frigga learned how to wield magic while growing up and being raised by witches. She eventually became a highly skilled and formidable sorceress, with this being her main asset in battle. She is able to cast extremely convincing illusions of other beings, and especially of herself, and was able to send projections of herself to others. She used this ability to speak with Loki in his cell, and taught him how to cast delusions, which resulted in having an extreme ability in the skill and field of sorcery. Frigga, besides being kind-hearted in nature, is also quite brave, strong-willed, fierce, and noble. She is brave enough to stand against the leader of the Dark Elves by herself. When she was warned about a future where she was going to die, she refused to hear this warning about her fate, showing an inherent bravery in accepting such a grim future for herself, as she was more than ready to sacrifice herself if it meant the safety of her family and friends. Frigga is a benevolent, kind-hearted, fair, and wise person. She is loved by all her family and all the people of Asgard. She shows great care for her husband and loved both her biological son Thor and her adoptive son Loki equally. She has a great sense of compassion for all those around her and is very empathetic, considerate, and helpful. Even though she is a very wise ruler, her kind heart can get in the way of any punishment given to her sons or anyone else. Frigga possesses all the various superhuman abilities common among her people, including superhuman strength, durability, speed, agility, stamina, reflexes, healing, and an extreme long lifespan. She is extremely skilled in the use of swords in combat and is highly skilled and formidable in hand-to-hand combat, with a genius-level intelligence, especially in the ways of magic. Known for transmutation, she taught Loki this trick, which he used to turn Thor into a frog. Frigga is the Queen of Asgard, who is very empathetic, considerate, and helpful. She is known for being a highly skilled and formidable sorceress with the ability to cast extremely convincing illusions of others. This is represented in Marvel Snap, as when you call upon her aid, she will help you by casting an extremely convincing illusion of the last character you put onto the battlefield into your hand for you to use once again. So in Marvel Snap, what this character is she is a 3, cost 3 power with the description of on reveal, add a copy of the last card you played to your hand if able. So unfortunately, as I was going through her, as I was looking through her, as I was trying to make her work, as I was trying to do everything that I was trying to find with her, she ended up being a 1-star for me, and I wish she was higher than that. Well, so let me explain some of the things that why she ended up being a 1-star, because I don't like giving out 1-stars whenever I can. So let's start with the most obvious reason. When you look at her just as a stat line, she's a 3-3. And she doesn't really have that great of an ability. She has basically the same ability almost as Crystal does, even a worse kind of ability than Crystal does, where for 3/3 you're putting a card into your hand per se. Now, a lot of people have been talking about her like she's a moon girl, which she kind of is. She kind of is a moon girl, she kind of is a Queen of Asgard. But the problem with Moon Girl, or the great thing about Moon Girl, I should say, is Moon Girl doesn't have to hit the battlefield. When Moon Girl does hit the battlefield, I should say, it puts every card in your hand back into there again. So you don't have to have a card down before Moon Girl shows up. If Moon Girl's the first card you play, that's still fine and dandy. That doesn't hurt anything. The problem when you look at this card is, the simple fact is, you have such a narrow window to play her. You can't play her on 6 because it's not going to work on 6. You can't, the last turn you can really play her on 5. And because of how she's worded, the best card you can look for is a 4. So let's just go, for example, and get one of the best 4 drops in the game. This is one of the best 4 drops in the game that you can kind of get with her, which would be Jubilee. You cast Jubilee on 4. You play her on 5, you have a weird turn because you're still too shy. And then even on 6, you have a 4 for Jubilee because you want to cast the Jubilee again, and then you're too shy again. So you're basically out 4 energy just by trying to make this turn work. So when are you supposed to cast her? Are you supposed to cast her right on 3? If so, then one of your best cards might be like Master Mold. And then again, you have to play the Master Mold on 4, which is, again, a really weird turn. Maybe you go for Hulkbuster, where, you throw this on something end turn, and then you can technically get a second copy of it because you're collecting the Hulkbuster because it's the last card you play. But when you throw Hulkbuster on, like, say, a Deadpool, you can actually get a Deadpool back, not the Hulkbuster back. It's how it's written. Here's one of the problems, okay? Let's look at something like Black Widow. You play Black Widow on 3. You play her on 4, for example. You're already down in energy because it's on 4. It doesn't technically work with Black Widow because you put the Black Widow in the hand. You don't cast the bite again. So then on turn 5, you get to cast the bite, have a weird turn on that. So weird turn 3, actually weird turn 4, I should say, and weird turn 5. What's really interesting is she doesn't even sort of work with her son. If you get Thor on 3, okay. Your best hope is that maybe you get the hammer on 4, but then again, you have to play down the hammer on her on 4. I almost wish it was the next card you played with her. If she was changed to the next card you played with her, she'd be so much better. You have a chance for stuff like Devil Dinosaur. You have stuff like for Black Panther. Darkhawk. There's so many 5 drops that are good. There's so many 4 drops that are good. I'm just trying to figure out where she is. When you look at a card like White Queen, which is a 4/6, that is basically doing almost the same trick that she is. When's the last time that you played White Queen? And it's just the card that you get off of her. Yeah, well, it's a card in your hand, in your deck, that you played. When are you supposed to leave playing her down into the curve? What is the term where you sit there and go, okay, I'm going to finally play the Frigga here? Now, there is a couple of things out here. Like the fact that, because she is a 3, there's a chance to play even a Brood. Now, even if you play her as a 3 because you're going to Silver Surfer, you play the Brood on 3, you play her on 4 to get back another Brood to play on 5, which is, it's just, again, where are you supposed to get this turn? I'm trying to figure out where she works, where she fits, and the only thing I can really figure out of her is really, really low stuff. Some of the really bouncy stuff in the beginning. You play Kitty Pryde, you get her down every single turn, you pump her up, and then right on turn 5, or on turn 4 if you want to make a good turn 4, you play down Kitty, you play down the Frigga, you've got 2 kitties. That's not the worst idea in the world, but then you have to play a good turn 1, good turn 2, good turn 3 for Kitty. See, the thing is, again, if these were illusions, and they cost 0, that would be awesome. That would be so helpful for the whole Asgardian things, because they would work well with ongoing. Oh, sorry, with on reveal, I should say. Because Asgards are known for doing that on reveal. And it would also be good for cards like, say, Devil Dinosaur, where even if it was an illusion, and it was a 0/0, where it's technically an illusion of the last card that you played, because of Devil Dinosaur's text, it would still get the power up off the text. That'd be so interesting to have as a mechanic, where, you know, you could have an illusion on the last card that you play, and it costs 0. But there's really no good turn I can figure out where you want to play the Frigga. The problem with Marvel Snap is you, for all intents and purposes, have 6 turns. You can't play her on 6. You legitimately can't play her on 6. Well, you can, but she's just a 3/3 on 6. You don't want a 3/3 on 6. You can't play her on 5, for all intents and purposes. Because if you play her even on 5, you have to play whatever card you get on 6. So that either means that card needs to be a 4-drop or lower, unless you did something really weird. So even if you play her on 5, you're playing an awkward turn 6 because you got to play a 4 and a 2, if it is a 4-drop. It's really hard to even play her on 4, because again, even playing her on 4, the best thing you're looking at is like a 3-drop at that point. So you're looking at something in the realm of Thor, maybe a Sage or something like that, you know. Did you have enough time to really set up that 3? A lot of the 3s in the game are stuff that you want to set up. Now, ironically, she might be decently well with the newest card that came out with the season pass card, where you play him down on 3, and then you play her down on 4 to get a second copy of him on 5, and then you finish it off on 6 by playing a couple 10-drops. But again, even with doing that trick, you're playing a weird 4, you're playing a weird 5 to a certain degree. That's the thing. There's no window where it seems fine to play this card. If Marvel Snap had 10 turns to it, then this card would have some place in it. With it being such a tight window of you only having 12 cards in your deck, giving up 1 slot to basically, for all intents and purposes, put a crystal in your deck is not worth it. Alright, besides the card that we have for this week being the Spotlight Cache of Frigga, we also have Red Guardian. Red Guardian is possibly one of the best tech cards that is currently walking around, which shows you a night and day between what a 3/3 could be. Red Guardian is going to silence one of your opponent's cards regardless of any other text that it has on it. Ongoing, on reveal, activate, destroy, doesn't matter. Red Guardian takes care of them all. The only thing that stops it is technically the Pup because it still is a non-reveal card, but compare these 2 cards back to back or side by side and it's night and day. The other card that shows you just how bad she is Copycat, which also comes in the Spotlight Cache. First of all, Copycat is a 3/5, not a 3/3. And second of all, Copycat legitimately takes and it becomes a copy of a card in your opponent's deck. Now, it used to be a lot better, and I won't lie that this card used to be better because it used to silence that card. But Copycat just by herself, being a card that you can play down on 3, when this becomes an Iron Man, when this becomes a Doctor Doom, when this becomes a Galactus, it is so funny, it's not even worth saying how broken this card can be. So on this particular week, if you don't have the Red Guardian and the Copycat, it's a good week to roll, and kinda the Frigga is your loser prize in this. So I'm still gonna roll because I roll for content, so let's find out what we have inside this box. Box is Red Guardian, nice. Alright, so this Friday I will be doing a deck on Red Guardian if you want to come see it. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and as always, remember, play